Hey there, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel today. Today I'm going to talk about Redbox and their bankruptcy case. I'm going to tie it into the future. I know it's kind of hard to we got to look into our crystal ball here, but it's important because I'm just trying to get you to a certain mindset. Okay, now Redbox, there was a time you couldn't walk into any store, grocery store, Walgreens, you name it, that they didn't have a Redbox there. Pretty cool concept, right? Put your money in, boom, a DVD player comes out. It was like instead of a Coca-Cola machine pumping out another can of Coke for you, get that sugar rush. You now have a movie. Give you another type of adrenaline rush, right? Depends on the movie, of course. Great concept. Now, Redbox is owned by Chicken Soup for the Soul Media, another great marketing concept. So, I mean, these guys were on a roll. But unfortunately, and I keep referring to COVID, times have changed. And I think COVID and with streaming and people not being able to come out of the house, ultimately this affected them. That's why the times are changing. Like Bob Dylan said, one of my absolutely favorite songs. I listened to it the other day when I wrote the blog post for a little bit of inspiration. But that's important when it comes to you and to try to figure this stuff out. Now, the reason it's important is because look around you. If you're self-employed, if you have your own business, the times are changing. How is your business going to adapt? If I quote the wrong branch of the military, I apologize, but you got to improvise, adapt, and overcome, right? If you work for someone, how is your employer going to improvise, adapt, and overcome? All this affects your bottom line. Remember, the whole concept of bankruptcy.blog is to prepare you for the financial future. If you're going through tough times now, to get past those times, whether it's filed for bankruptcy, to learn about all these different financial products. But we got to look into the future somehow. So how we do that, for me, it was simple. I realized I had to go into online teaching and have that opportunity. And I'm glad I did because actually my first semester teaching online was during COVID. So I got lucky in that regard. I've been trying to get into online teaching for the longest time, but same concept. What are you going to do in order to be able to protect yourself financially? So now let's talk about Redbox and what they're facing. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Chapter 11, remember, it's kind of a payment plan, but they're converting to Chapter 7. Now, it's been a long week for Chapter 7 bankruptcies. I wrote about Alex Jones, a conspiracy theorist with InfoWars. He converted his case to Chapter 7 as well. It's possible Kevin Spacey might be filing for bankruptcy in the future as well. So it's been a crazy week. But Redbox is just following a certain pattern that we are seeing as bankruptcy lawyers, where Chapter 11 bankruptcies have increased just in the month of April by 60%. Now, it's also increased for consumers. And again, I relate this all to COVID. COVID is now we're dealing with the financial hangover now. That's why interest rates went up. Good news, apparently, that everything is on track. Inflation has been controlled. And so supposedly, don't hold me to it, I don't run the feds, but supposedly come September, they're going to drop the interest rates. Okay, so that's good news. Now, when it comes to Chapter 7, what are we talking about? Well, I don't care if it's your case. I don't care if it's mine. I don't care if it's Redbox. It's a liquidation of whatever assets are not protected. Remember, assets are protected to a certain extent with exemptions. But Redbox, it's a business. There's really no exemptions. So all their assets are going to be liquidated. What does that mean? It means if you really want one of those red kiosks in your man cave or she shed, you could pull that off. You just have to win the auction. And then, of course, the highest bidder gets whatever it is that they're selling, whether it's the kiosk, a computer, whatever it might be. And that money that they're able to recoup from the auction goes towards the creditors. They all get their pro rata share. But that's the way the liquidation works, and that's what Redbox is facing right now. All right. So that's all I want to talk today about Redbox. But I do want you. To me, this was more important to say. Just look around, take stock, take inventory, try to figure out. If all these businesses are failing. I always say the best way to learn is to learn from looking at other stuff, other material. Look around what's going on around you, so you're not caught off guard. Realistically, even though I lost my house in foreclosure in 2008, the reality was I saw that coming. The only thing that prevented me from selling the house was the hurricanes of 2005. But I saw that this market crash was coming. I knew my house was going to be worth less. But again, all I did was look around me. You don't have to be a genius when it comes to, they swap defaults derivatives, which is what caused the issue with these mortgages. I was just seeing that people were buying homes they simply could not afford. But, when you were paying interest only on your mortgage, and all of a sudden you have to pay principal plus interest in the next 3 to 5 years, I knew this was going to be a problem, and it was me trying to get out. And again, I'm not into statistics. I don't understand that stuff, but I was just taking inventory in what was happening, inventory myself. The law had changed in bankruptcy in 2005, so I knew I had to make some financial decisions. I got unlucky. It's a hurricane. What can you do? But the same way I bounce back, you will bounce back too. All right. So today's lesson, look at Redbox and what they're going through and ask yourself, how can you prevent that? Is your employer going down a certain path where maybe the technology or the AI is going to reduce the amount of hours that you work for that company? How can you become, indispensable so that you can continue working there? How do you take advantage of AI or its technology to keep your job and, more importantly, to make another buck? Because that's what we're here for, right? We're not only here to talk about, financial freedom, and that means sometimes getting rid of debt. It might mean refinancing a mortgage or a car loan. It also means making a dollar when you can. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them down in the comments below. I will reply to you, and I'll post the original blog post of this as well if you want to check it out on my blog. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your week, and continue towards that path towards financial freedom.